Welcome back everybody, my name is Andrew and this is another edition of Kite Army Labs. So speaking of Kite Army Labs, check this shirt out. Don't I look awesome? Well, you could look awesome too. There's a link below. Click that and look awesome. So in addition to pedaling shirts, I want to talk to you about this guy right here. This is the Rylo 360 camera. Look at that, look how beautiful it is. So you're probably sitting at home thinking, I've seen 360 cameras before, what's special about that? And in fact, that's exactly what I saw when I first learned about this camera, and I was dead wrong, and you might be as well. So the deal and what makes this camera so different from anything out there is not the lens, not what's packaged in here. This has been perfected by them and others. It's actually the software that they use to drive this. And the reason why is kind of in a nutshell is this. This camera can see anything and record anything it sees. It's amazing. We'll see that later in the video. But what Rylo recognized, and that's because they're full of brilliant people over there. There's people from Apple, Instagram, Google, they're just brilliant minds. They recognized that it wasn't the camera that necessarily limited how 360 cameras worked. It was actually the software. And they built, in my opinion, one of the best pieces of software that I've ever actually had on my phone. So with all that being said, we need to take a close look at this camera, see how it's built and how it works. And trust me, it's impressive. Just to hold it is a real treat. We'll look at the software and see how that works. It's not that difficult. They really spent a lot of time perfecting their interface. It's just so intuitive, it's awesome. And then of course we'll do the wrap up where we'll talk about the cost and some other things. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's start with the money shot. Here's the camera, and you can see it is precisionally designed. I just enjoy looking at it. Now, the question that would come up is how rugged is it? And I don't know. I have been super careful with this camera. The other thing to look at this camera is it's got a button up top, and that's basically the power button and start video button. And one other button only, which keeps the operation real simple, is right here, and that changes between video and photo. That's it. On the bottom of this camera, they have an access for the battery, and there are spare batteries you can buy. I think these batteries last about 45 minutes. And your SD card can slip right in. It takes a minute to get to it. Right there. The Rylo does ship with a 16 gig card, but you're gonna wanna upgrade that. I pretty much did that straight away. Now, the operation of this camera is real simple. To turn it on, you just hit the power button and hold it. You'll hear it beep and vibrate. Green means on, and to record, you just hit that button again. It's that simple. You can see there's a indicator for how much record time you have on your memory card. That says 46 right now, and also an indicator of your battery power. And I think this guy right over here shows you that it's in video mode. To switch modes, let's do that. And that's camera mode. So that indicator right on the top right there just shows you what mode it is. And in a nutshell, that's the camera. There's a charging port right here, and also a connector for your cell phone. You just plug it in like that. This goes to your cell phone. This happens to be the iPhone version. There is an Android version, so make sure you buy the right version. I love the fact this camera doesn't have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, although you'd think that would be something that I would look for. It makes the operation of transferring the files and running the camera real smooth. There's no glitches. I like it, believe it or not. So that's the camera. The camera comes with a case here, which is just as well designed as everything else that Rylo seems to have made. It just opens like this, and you can drop it in, and it closes down. It means you can use this case with the camera connected to the everyday case, which is this guy right here. To put the camera in the case, you just look for the button and make sure that's facing upwards. Put it in like that. You also have an adjuster here and a connector for action camera, so if you've got a GoPro or something like that, you can use those mounts, which is nice. As much as I love the design of the Rylo, the way they handle stabilization is one of the most impressive features of this camera. So in this video, I'm riding a mountain bike, I'm jostling all over the place, I'm shifting my weight from left to right. But what they're doing to compensate that is really impressive. First of all, the stabilization's near impeccable. Secondly, what they're doing is they're keeping that horizon line right in the middle of the screen, and it gives you a really smooth, flowing video experience. I love it. Anyway, let's see what this video would look like without that stabilization turned on. see some of the video that the Rylo 360 is able to shoot, let's go and look at the brains behind those videos, and it's right here in the app. This is what sets this 360 apart from every other 360 camera out there. Now, you can see as soon as you get to the home page, you can scroll up and down and see all the videos that you uploaded from your camera to your phone. Once you open up the video that you want to edit, you might be lucky enough to get a money shot like this. I apologize in advance for this picture. It's just where things were. So once you get to this point, you can see the camera can look all the way around. Wow, look at those legs, ladies. Eat your heart out. Can look all the way around, and anything it can see is now available to look at. Let's scrub forward a little bit. Here's the scrub line down the bottom, and you can continue to manipulate where the camera looks even when the video is playing. So let's let it play forward a little bit, and let's scrub at this point forward along. You're gonna see me ride past, and then I come back. So let's set right around here. I'm on this side of the trail now, and you can see there I am. Now you can zoom in and zoom out. That works pretty good. What I want to show you here is if you tap an object on the screen and select follow this, if all goes well, it will actually track that object. You can also do something called look here, and that will force the camera to look that direction, and then I can say, okay, once you've looked here, look here. Okay, and I've got to scroll forward, and I'll show you how that plays out. Let me try and find myself there. There I am. Let's look here. So let's play this. You're gonna see what will happen is the camera will smoothly scroll. It's not tracking me anymore. I'm telling it where to be. Now let's go and edit some of the video. So when you go here, there's a bunch of editing tools available. Let's start with the trim. You can basically say, I want the start of the video to be there and the end to be there, and that's it. Okay, let's go back to the editing tools. There's speed. You can control how fast the video plays. That works pretty well. Tune, this is pretty neat, where you can adjust some of the light saturation, the contrast, things like that. You can do levels, which means you can self-level the horizon, although I have to say the camera does that pretty well, so you won't be doing that too often. And the big one is crop. Now you can decide, do you want it to be portrait like this, or a standard 1080p, which is like 12 by 700, give or take. And to do that, you just hit wide, and it will turn around. So I'm working in another video now to show you how some of these tools would work. Here's my face, there's my front, and you can push play, and you can see that you can still move this piece around or move this piece around, but it lets you be in the display and see something else. Now there's a few different styles: top, bottom, round, elliptical, top, bottom. Okay. All right, it is time for the summary. Let's start from the top. The Rylo 360 will set you back 500 beans. Now that seems pretty pricey, but I'm gonna say for the capability of this camera, I think it's reasonable. Now, this camera also has some accessories they sell for it. One of the ones that I'm interested in is the waterproof housing. So it can go in the water with you, and you can still do all those amazing things. Let me talk about what I didn't like about this camera. One of the things I didn't like was I thought the microphone on the camera it just sounded really muffled, and the audio was bad. So I was always putting my own audio or a music song on top of the video. So you couldn't use this to record those like real intimate moments. Now that brings me to another point. Could you replace your traditional camera with just the Rylo 360? I think the answer is no to that. You really need a normal camera and a Rylo 360 for those very cool pans and exotic video shots. And I think this guy can help you and will definitely enhance your videos. So overall, I'm gonna say I really like this piece of technology. I'm really surprised by how well it works. Their motto is shoot then point, which I think really makes sense to me once you think about it, meaning it captures everything and then you just tell it what you're interested in and then you output that video file. And that kind of way of thinking is really intelligent if you ask me. Well, what more can I say? Hopefully you found this video informative. If you did, please make sure you leave me a like, subscribe to my channel, feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you guys around real soon.